Thanks again, Jim. With the World Boxing Association stripping George Foreman of the heavyweight title for avoiding the mandatory challenge, it opens the door for top contender Tony Tucker and #2 challenger Bruce Seldon to vie for the vacant crown. Tucker, once the IBF heavyweight champion, for a blink of the eye, has been able to make the long climb back to the top of the ratings. He's waited patiently for his turn to recapture a world championship, overcoming personal and managerial problems, not to mention reconstructive surgery on his right hand, which he broke in 3 places prior to his '87 title fight with Mike Tyson. Seldon, meanwhile, overcoming a 4-year prison term as a teenager. His past involved the violence of the streets and some less than wise personal decisions. But Seldon able to turn his life around through boxing, and tonight he gets his first shot at a world title. This could be the last title opportunity for both Tucker and Seldon as well, which could add drama and desperation to this fight. Well, we've got 2 fighters who were once very highly regarded. The question, what will it take to realize their potential? Freddie, your feelings?
Well, the main thing is TNT Tucker, who has always had everything you could want. Size, the right connections to get the fights, the beautiful boxing style, except no heart to really do it when he has to. By heart, I don't really mean cowardice. What I mean is desire. This flaming thing in your stomach that you got to be the best, you got to win. You can't get it out of Tucker. So I think that's his big problem. And as far as Seldon's concerned, he's an in and outer. If he's in today, I pick him to win this fight. If he's in, and I'm in a distinct minority.
Okay, and Bobby says the stakes have certainly increased since the return of Mike Tyson.
Sure, Mike Tyson was formerly a very credible world champion, and I believe he once again set out his quest to unify that world title. So all the heavyweights have been put on notice. He brings extra money and celebrity to the division. The world is watching and waiting, and the heavyweights are the people.
Most people are picking Tucker here. Who do you like?
You know what? I have to go with Tucker. My reason being his height, his reach, and the world championship experience. I think that might be a little too much for Seldon at this point.
All right, let's hear again from Mike Tyson now, who brings a unique perspective since he's been in the ring with 3 of the 4 heavyweights on tonight's card. Here's the man who didn't allow Tony Tucker much time to savor his IBF heavyweight championship. Mike Tyson on Tucker versus Seldon.
Very interesting fight we have here. We have Bruce Seldon coming back on a rebound from back-to-back losses from Oliver McCall and Riddick Bowe. And we have Tony Tucker coming back off a loss to Lennox Lewis for a championship fight. And these men both have something to prove here. And you look at the comparison of the 2. Tony Tucker is around 6'5", 6'6", good boxer, good puncher, very experienced in cage even at this stage of his career. And Bruce Seldon, very, very hungry, very eager, willing to win the title. And this is a big opportunity for both men.
And here is the #2 rated heavyweight contender, according to the WBA, Bruce Seldon, 31-3 with 27 knockouts. He has strung together 7 straight wins, all by knockouts, and suffering the 3rd loss of his career to Tony Tubbs in '92. His other 2 defeats to current WBC heavyweight champion Oliver McCall and current WBO heavyweight champion Riddick Bowe back-to-back in '91. He comes off a first-round stoppage of Bill Corrigan in Quito, Ecuador in December. For 28-year-old Seldon, his first world title shot. And now the #1 heavyweight contender, Tony Tucker, an 8.5 to 1 favorite, courtesy of Caesars Palace Sportsbook. He is the former IBF heavyweight champ who beat Buster Douglas for that title in '87. Then his first title defense 63 days later, dethroned by Mike Tyson. Although Tucker one of only 3 to go 12 rounds with the former world champion. Did it with an injured right hand as well. The 36-year-old Tucker out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, 52-2, 1 no contest, 43 KOs. Let's check the numbers as we go to the tail of the tape. Biggest disparity in age. Tucker at 36, 8 years older than Seldon. Tucker has the size at 6'5", nearly a 4-inch height advantage. Tucker tipped the scales at 243, Seldon at 236, and the 5-inch reach advantage for Tucker. WBA rules, 10-point must system, 3 scoring judges, no standing 8 count, 3 knockdown rule is in effect. Only the referee can stop the fight. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell except in the last round. So here at Caesars Palace, Las Vegas, closing in on the 3rd of 5 world title fights, the WBA Heavyweight Championship. Back to our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Well, fans, we welcome you to our next world title feature bout of the evening, brought to you by Don King Productions and King Vision in association with Showtime Event Television, Corona Beer, and Caesars Palace. At this time, we present the vacant WBA Heavyweight Championship of the World. This bout is sanctioned by the World Boxing Association President Gilberto Mendoza, Supervisor Alberto Sarmiento, along with the Nevada State Athletic Commission, the Chairman, Dr. James Nave. The judges appointed scoring this bout from ringside, we have Dwayne Ford, Art Lurie, and Jerry Roth. And introducing to you the referee in charge, working in this, his 76th world title bout, Mills Lane. All right, fans, here we go with the vacant WBA Heavyweight Championship of the World, scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing. I introduce to you first on my right, fighting out of the blue corner. He is wearing white trunks with red trim and fighting out of Atlantic City, New Jersey. He weighed in at 236 pounds, and his record includes 31 wins, 3 losses, with 27 wins coming by way of knockout. And here is the WBA #2 ranked heavyweight contender in the world, introducing the Atlantic City Express, Bruce Seldon. And presenting to you his opponent across the ring on my left, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black trunks with gold trim, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, by way of Grand Rapids, Michigan. He weighed in at 243 pounds and enters the ring with a record of 52 wins, 2 losses, 1 no contest, with 43 big wins coming by way of knockout. And here is the former IBF heavyweight champion of the world, currently ranked the WBA #1 contender, introducing Tony TNT Tucker. And once again, he is your referee in charge now to give instructions, Mills Lane.
Okay, gentlemen, we've already had your instructions one time in the dressing room. Right here. If he goes right here, it's going to be all right, all right? If he goes right here, it's going to be okay. Yeah. All right. This is for the WBA title. I expect a tough, clean fight. Protect yourself at all times. Let's get it on.
Fan favorite Mills Lane, the district judge from Reno, Tony Tucker, with the size. He has speed and power. He fights cautiously, very methodical, sometimes predictable, but as Ferdy said, his desire a question mark. The rugged, hard-hitting Bruce Seldon has rededicated himself after the early career problems. Here we go. The bell for round 1, scheduled for 12 for the vacant WBA Heavyweight Championship. Tucker was getting an earful from trainer Georgie Benton, almost right up to the bell.
And there's nobody that can motivate you like Georgie Benton. He's been there himself. He's a great, great fighter, and now he's becoming a great cornerman.
That's one of the things they talk about Tucker. They can't get him motivated, especially early. He's a very slow starter. Comes on in the later rounds, but tell you what, he looks a little more peppy tonight.
Bobby, what about Seldon's chin?
You know, there have been questions about it when Riddick Bowe hit him with the left hook. It didn't look the biggest left hook in the world, and it hurt him much more than it appeared it should have. And he's had some questions. Jose Revolta had him on the floor. That's been a question, and we're going to find out tonight, because I know TNT can hit.
Yes, Tucker does have power. Ironically, Tucker's first title fight for the vacated IBF title, vacated when Michael Spink was stripped. And here we are 8 years later. He fights for his second world title, again a vacated belt, this time because George Foreman was stripped for not fighting Tucker, the #1 contender. Tucker in the black trunks, Seldon in the white. Seldon's career as a contender appeared to be over when he suffered a first-round knockout against Riddick Bowe in '91, but he hung in there. In his previous fight, stopped in the 9th by Oliver McCall, and the other loss to Tony Tubbs. Seldon said, I almost wrote myself off after the Bowe fight. I thought maybe I'd gotten as far as I could go. But since the loss to Bowe, he has 13 wins, 12 by knockout, and is the #2 contender.
And I knew his trainer, Carmen Graziano, had passed away, and they were very, very close with like his family. And Carmen believed in the kid, and I hope to see him do well.
Well, he's doing well this first round. I've been clocking the number of punches that are thrown, and he is throwing many more punches than Tucker. Tucker's trying to catch him on counter punching, but he is not. He's too slow for that.
You know what, though, Ferdy? Not too many of them are landing, and he's up until right now he was going backwards throwing. Letting Tucker come forward with that size and that leverage might be a big mistake.
Well, the size is very impressive to anybody who just tuned in and look. I mean, a huge guy like this ought to be able to squash a little guy, but that's not the way it works in the heavyweight picture.
Seldon told us he intends to come out and end this fight early. He feels that Tucker will try to take the fight into the later rounds with the hope that Seldon will tire. Tucker does not fight as if he's in a hurry. Historically, very slow, particularly at the start. Here's Seldon with a little combination. Seldon said he's working on slowing Tucker down even more, as fast and as early as possible.
He's got a much better jab going, Bobby. That thing is really popping in there. Those last 4 jabs have been strong.
Well, I'll tell you what, they started trading jabs a little bit. On the inside, Tucker seemed to get a little bit of the better of it, where you think that maybe Seldon with his compact size might do better, but not yet.
Seldon said because Tucker's so tall, everybody goes headhunting. He says, I'll work the body. Not easy to knock out Tucker because of size. Let's go back over to Jim Gray, who's with the WBC champion of the heavyweight division.
All right, thank you very much, Steve Alpert. We're here with Oliver McCall as he gets ready for his fight with Larry Holmes. You're watching this fight right now. You're not too nervous. Took you 9 years to get here, and you're just smiling and having a good time.
Yeah, I feel good. I feel fantastic, and I'm ready to give the people what they want to see. They want to see a champion that looks like a champion, fight like a champion, and be ready and prepared for Mike Tyson. I think I'm that guy. So I'm going to let the people choose and see. After the night, they choose. Do you want to see a sloppy Riddick Bowe the way he fought Herbie Hyde fight, or do they want a real bull, the Iron Bull, the Atomic Bull fight Mike Tyson?
What does Atomic Bull mean? A lot of people are wondering that.
Well, I'm a Taurus, the Bull, and of course, when the Chicago Bull, I'm a Chicagoan. So the Chicago Bulls, they made it. I'm the Atomic Bull. I'm Taurus. April 21st, my birthday is coming up in a couple of days, and this is for my birthday as well as Big John Studd, and I dropped them atomic bombs, baby.
You mentioned Mike Tyson. What about Mike Tyson? You spent some time with him. Did he give you any advice?
Well, I'm ready. Tyson haven't given me no advice. He said I need to win this, but I already know that.
All right,
Hey.
Oliver, we look forward to seeing you shortly. Let's go back out to Steve.
All right, thank you very much, Jim Gray. Round 2 for the vacant WBA heavyweight championship. Bruce Seldon, the number 2 contender in the white. And there's a big right hand by Seldon.
Seldon doing what he said he was going to do, started jabbing to the body, going to the body, and came up top with the right hand.
I think he's outworking him, Bobby. All through that first round, he seems to be doing that what he wanted to do, outwork him, and the Tony is as usual too slow. He's not coming up.
Seldon, the last 4 or 5 years, has become more of a complete fighter, much more mature, much more focused, and he gets off the best punch thus far in the early going. Right hand again. Oh, and a countering right by Tucker.
That was a beautiful countering right. It looked like it buckled one leg of Seldon. And
well, we're going to find out right now what the effects of that right hand are, because there's another one.
Seldon looked momentarily dazed, but he is fighting back.
That was a good shot by TNT.
Oh, another right hand by Tucker. But Seldon answering back, and then his knees do buckle as he wraps his arms around the waist of Tucker.
He hadn't got strong legs under him right now. This is Tucker's chance. Let's see what he does. He's
Tell you what,
the door.
The jab was working for Seldon, and he just started winging, and he can't do that with Tony Tucker. He's too big and strong.
So Tucker able to come back. Right hand there, but a glancing blow.
Come on, step back. Come on, step back here. Come on.
Another right hand by Seldon now. Uppercut miss. Left hand, left hook by Bruce Seldon. The crowd reacting, but it didn't have full impact. 1 minute to go in the second.
These are big men, Steve. They can't keep this kind of pace up for too many rounds. One man will have to give in.
The pace here in the second round has been furious.
Seldon has landed more, but Tucker much more effective with his. He has really stunned Seldon.
But Seldon going right back at Tony Tucker.
Come on, let him go in there. Hey.
Now, little holding and hitting by Seldon on the break, being cautioned by Mills Lane.
Now, Mills won't let you get away with that. Oh, Lonesome Dove is right on top of him. He just will not let any foolishness go on.
You see a little blood coming out of Tony Tucker's nose right now, too. So some of those punches that are being thrown by Seldon are making their mark.
Lots of action here in the second round. Less than 20 seconds remaining.
It's a much better fight than I anticipated because Seldon is making TNT fight.
Final seconds of the round.
All right, one step back. Touch the heads. One step back, Tony. Here we go.
Blood continues to come from the right nostril of Tony Tucker.
You're doing a beautiful job.
3-3 your mom.
You're doing a beautiful job. Now listen, keep the jab going. Now listen, do not back over this guy. I don't give a damn what happened. Do not back away from the guy. Keep the pressure on, and when the guy fires, just keep going down like you're doing. Yeah, you understand? Yeah. And when you fire,
Don't blow your nose, Tony. Don't blow your nose.
Now when you fire, fire to the bottom first, then to the top, right? Okay. Now, but to keep the jab going and do not back off. Because when you back off is the only time you're getting hit. You got me covered? Yeah. And when punches come your way,
Let's take a look at Seldon working hard. Now this is the kind of work that opened this round where it looked like Seldon just made up his mind to just maybe knock this guy out right now in the second round. But let's see what happened to him later.
Well, that's what he did. He came out, but Tony Tucker, being a big former champion he came back with a couple left hooks and right hand there you saw on the inside. He is not going to roll over and go away.
I thought he was going to go down on one knee, Bobby. That guy buckled his knee. TNT to Seldon, but Seldon is back. He's tough. He said he wants to fight 20 rounds. Well, he may have his chance.
So we come off an excellent round of boxing, but can these two huge men keep up this frantic pace? Round 3 begins.
Or more likely, can the little one keep staying up with this huge guy that keeps following him?
You know, Tony Tucker is really a whole lot taller, but weight-wise is only 6 or 7 pounds, 236 to 243. So the weight is just distributed in different places. And right now, the shorter man's out jabbing the big man.
I think the speed of the punches is too much for Tucker. He doesn't respond well. See that? He doesn't respond as fast, Bobby.
A powerful jab by Bruce Seldon, almost a shotgun jab. Seldon's big right connected. 27 seconds into round 2, then Tucker staggered Seldon 45 seconds later. And that's about where we stand right now in round 3.
And Bobby, there's something wrong with TNT Tucker's nose. I've already told him don't blow out that nose, meaning they're afraid that the blood is coming out and will spread out into the sinuses. So
yeah, he was
already problems.
Yeah, he was bleeding a little bit from the last round, and again in the corner also. His left eye's got a nice little knot on it, so that may start to close on him soon too.
Well, we might see what kind of heart Tony Tucker has tonight.
Come on.
Well, he's got more heart in those first 2 rounds than he did in the last 2 fights. He fought like a sleepwalker. Now he's really fighting like what he should be, a top heavyweight.
Midway, round 3, body shots by Bruce Seldon.
Tuck, you gotta get him up. Keep the punch up on it. Come on.
Is digging to the stomach.
See that jab? That jab is starting to take control.
Short, crisp right hand by Tony Tucker again. That may have dazed Bruce Seldon for the moment. And that left eye of Tony Tucker closing.
Well, Tucker's got him right now if he wants to follow it up. Seldon doing nothing to get away from that. He's got to move, son. He's got to move away. He is doing it. He's moving away.
There you see him moving right now. The damage being shown on Tucker's face, but he is unloading.
Tucker has Seldon backing up.
And on unsteady
legs. A right hand by Seldon. Seldon coming back, missing with a wild right.
I'll tell you, both these men came to win this title.
Yeah, there's no slowness here. This is an all-out campaign.
Keep him up, Tony.
They are toe-to-toe with furious exchanges. Under 30 seconds in round 3.
Step back, don't punch on the brake. Come on, step back in here. Come on.
Mills Lane has to fight the 2 off.
Good body shot by Tony Tucker. Great right hand to the body.
Tony Tucker missing with that right. The left eye of Tucker all but completely shut as we head for the bell.
But that right hand has found a home. Tony Tucker knows how to throw that right, and it's landing. How much more can Seldon take?
Yeah, baby. Now you're doing a number on him.
Now listen to this and breathe. That bucket.
Bucket.
Come on, you're too slow. Listen to this, Bruce. Listen. You got that closed eye. You see his eye? It's closed. Now you listen to me. Listen to me well. You want to win this fight? Well, stop rushing the fight. You're being aggressive. You don't have to do that, Bruce. Come on, you can beat this guy just by pointing him. What was our plan? Boxing him, right? Why are you being aggressive? He's staying like this waiting for you to counter with that right. You're letting him hit you with that right. Don't do that.
Let's take a look at that overhead shot where Tucker finally gets in the left hand. Right there, the right hand that begins to bother Seldon. He's been getting it in all through the fight, but now it's beginning to really have an effect.
Starting to land very steady, Freddie.
How do you like that advice? Don't be too aggressive to Seldon.
Well, I'll tell you what, the trainer is Diego Rosario, someone I used to spar with when I weighed 105 pounds.
That's long ago, Bobby.
Former standout Diego Rosario shouting instructions at Bruce Seldon, saying stick with the plan, box him, and you've got his eyes shut. Yes, Tucker's left eye almost completely closed by the end of round 3.
Diego, when he was younger, was a great boxer. As a trainer to train Seldon, he may be trying to get him to draw Tucker's big palms, let him get tired, and box him and work him, and not be open to that dangerous big punch.
And Seldon looking to set up the right with the jab.
Well, the danger is here with that right hand, but the damage is being done on TNT Tucker's face, is showing the effect of that terrific jab of Seldon's. I don't know if I'd tell him to ease off, because he's doing very well with that hard jab.
Tucker's nose and left eye damaged. We're in round 4 for the vacant WBA heavyweight championship. There's that beautiful doubling up of the jab by Seldon.
So even the short man can use that jab very well. It's one of my favorite punches, the best punch in boxing.
Nearly a 4-inch height advantage for number 1 Tony Tucker. To the body goes Seldon. Seldon answering to the instructions of Diego Rosario.
Every time he initiates the action, he's first. He comes up 1, 2, 3 jabs, and he moves on. That kind of formula will pile up rounds for him.
But when he lands that second and third jab, Ferdy, and they land and they find the mark, that right-handed hook should be right behind it.
Yeah, if not, the right hand of Tucker is going to come in, and he's been trying to load that up as a counterpunch, and he has had some success with it, just not enough.
Tucker's face continues to be very messy. Now there's slight bleeding from his mouth.
You know, we talk about Oliver McCall being the younger heavyweight champion fighting Larry Holmes, and right here you have a former champion too who's got some years on the challenger.
And a miss there by Seldon, looking to end it on 1 punch.
Seldon is really loading up the right hand. He's missed it every time he throws. It'll be interesting to see when it lands what happens, because he's really throwing it hard.
Countering right hook by Bruce Seldon, but not flush. Here's a good jab. Not a bad jab at all by Bruce Seldon.
And remember, Bruce is punching up. I mean, he is punching up a tree, and he's hitting with that jab. That's a very, very good jab. Remarkable for Seldon to hit that many.
Again, there's that doubling up of the left jab, setting up the big right by Bruce Seldon. Doing a fabulous job of boxing here in the 4th round.
He's starting to work that body too, Steve. He's starting to do what he said he wanted to do, and right now he looks pretty good.
And Tony took one of those big breaths that you take when you're tired, and this is only round 4.
15 seconds to go in the round. Tucker already looks like he's gone 12. Again, gorgeous jabbing by Seldon. Now Seldon to the top of Tucker's head.
Beautiful round for Bruce Seldon.
Relax, no, relax. Let me handle this corner, please. Now listen. The jab is working good for you. But you got the jab more regular. Okay. You understand? Okay. But see, don't just jab at his head. Jab at his chest, jab at his belly. Okay. Then the jab is working good for you. Okay. Now go out there and look. You're doing a hell of a job with the jab, but you just let this guy out jab. Now let me see you go out there and stick.
All right, here's Seldon. Let's take a look at that jab of beauty, and also notice what the target is. That eye. He's going right for that eye. He wants that eye to swell and shut, and the nose.
You know, the angle he comes in, and he's short and he's squat. He's crossing that jab, and I don't even know if he can aim that specifically in that heat of battle, but that's where it's landed.
Well, it's that side of the face, and that's what's doing the damage on that side.
Don't back off so much, because this is when the guys.
I think the advice now was well taken by Jerry. Box him. Don't try to get in a shootout with this guy.
Well, Seldon told us beforehand that Tucker's most powerful aspect here, it's probably his last chance. He should have the incentive. It's desperation time for Tucker, but Bruce Seldon has been dictating the pace.
So right now you see he's doing what Diego told him. He's boxing. He's making Tucker miss, but he's not countering. He's not making him pay.
And on the other side, Benton told TNT, you got the better jab, go to it. But up to this point, I don't know what he's talking about, because he doesn't. He doesn't have the better jab. It's Seldon's jab that's controlling this fight.
Seldon aiming for the body. Now he goes upstairs again with the jab, and they are loving it in Seldon's corner.
Beautiful 1, 2, 3.
Oh, and he just missed with the right hand.
He's outspeeding him. This is called you first. This is what you love to see in a corner if it's your fighter. You go first.
Seldon, all kinds of confidence, moving side to side, again setting up the right with the jab.
The eye is really getting closed now. It's looking ugly, but that jab is doing some number.
It is target practice.
It's not only closing his eyes, but he's getting very confused. Is Tucker? He's not fighting with the same kind of brio that he did.
After lackluster performances previously, fellas, they act like they mean it right here.
Hey, this is the heavyweight championship of the world. This is everything that you ever wanted in your whole life right here. They got to fight as hard as they can, and Seldon is doing it.
Past the midway point of round 5, Bobby.
I'm sorry. If I've said it once, I've said it 100 times. The single most coveted prize in all professional sports. If you don't give 100% of yourself at this level, what are you going to do?
And that was the criticism of TNT. Both times he went for it, he froze, he didn't do anything. And right now, he's getting out-slicked and out-whipped, and he's not really coming on strong here unless he gets lucky with one of these big punches.
Seldon continues to have his way. Oh, that left, a stinging shot to the face of Tucker.
And now Tucker's kind of turning around trying to see him with the one good eye. And that is target practice from there on out.
We talked to Seldon. He said he wanted to throw 50 to 60 jabs per round, and I guess he meant it.
Yes.
You know, the only thing he does, Bobby, sometimes he stays there after the jab. It scares me to death. One good counter punch then, and you got trouble. Like right there. You need to stay there.
Tony Tucker cannot see out of the left eye. Seldon continues to be in total command.
Hey, come on. Ray, come on.
Seldon dedicating to this fight to the two most important people in his life, his mother and Carmen Graciano. Bobby mentioned, two passed away a few years ago. Right hand by Bruce Seldon.
Landed right on that eye, Steve.
Come on, you tired, come on. Time.
Using the left hand. Jab and left hook.
Stay right on the top. Give us a water. Give us a water.
Look at me, Tony. Okay. You seen all right out of that eye?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, now listen. The jab was a real good for you. Now, do me a favor. Don't pull away from punches. Now, you notice when you're going down, the punches don't nail you. When you pull away from punches is when you're getting hit. Now, stay right up close. And don't get yourself tied up, right?
You gotta be first, team.
Use your hands. Punch.
Doing good, man. Doing good. That's strength. I'm sorry.
Now listen, keep your hands up good and high. Don't when you get close, because this guy's trying to steal you with things.
Grit your teeth. That's gonna hurt, but that's the only way you keep it open.
Stay on top. When you get close, keep your hands going, right? He can't punch and block at the same time. Don't block the nose.
Yes, a crowded corner over there with Dr. Flip Pomansky, the ringside physician, looking very closely at that damaged left eye of Tony Tucker. And they continue. Here we are, round 6 for the WBA heavyweight title.
He's got to wake up as TNT and start taking some charge of this fight, or else these rounds are going to start piling up on him. Not only is weariness piling up, but that damaged eye and nose is going to continue to hurt worse and worse as he gets pummeled. So he better get started here.
The more that eye closes, the more it's going to cause him problems where he can't see certain punches from certain angles. It's also quite painful when it gets hit.
Yeah, that's it that people don't really know, Bobby, the pain of that swollen eye.
I'll tell you, he threw a good combination here, and he got Seldon's attention a little bit, stopped him in his tracks, but Bruce is still in control, walking away, doing the right thing.
So Tucker's stalking now, and a lick of a left jab by Seldon. Seldon moving back, but getting the better of Tony Tucker.
It's beginning to look like a Hollywood movie with some little guy is starting to beat up on a big guy. He's starting to look confused. And he's not throwing that counter punch right, you know, which is the thing that was winning those early rounds for him.
Seldon continues to throw that scintillating jab, confusing and puzzling Tony Tucker. And looking to set up the overhand right.
You know, you can see that eye is really bothering him as he's looking. He has to squint. He has to turn his face even a little bit instead of giving him an extra angle. That is always a problem.
Tucker beginning to land a little bit here to the head of Bruce Seldon.
That's because Bruce is standing still and abandoned that jab and move away.
A left hook there by Tucker.
He better wake up again.
As you all know, in the heavyweight division, things can change in a hurry.
One punch can change this in a minute.
That's what makes this division so exciting.
The chance of Bruce from this crowd at Caesars.
Oh, good body shot by Seldon, right under the arm.
But back comes Tucker with a short, crisp left hook. Interesting.
Well, I'll tell you right now, Tucker's outworked Bruce for this round. He's starting to turn the tide a little. Can he keep it up? We'll soon find out.
This is the best round he's had for the last 3 or 4. Tucker.
Tucker showing a lot of heart. Bouncing shots off the head of Seldon. Less than 30 seconds, round 6. Right hand just missed by Tucker. Back comes Seldon with a left and a right to the body.
Looks like Bruce woke up and said, hey, I'm losing this round. I better come back.
What a brutal sight, that left eye of Tony Tucker. Final second.
Stay on top of him with the jab. Stay on top of him with the jab, right? And keep firing at it. Now, when he punches at you, just get low. Don't go to tying him up because that's using brute strength. And you don't need that now. Just make it miss. Use your defense. You know, duck down.
All right, I got to get in there, Tony. It's the doctor again. Let me see the other eye. All right, let me see this eye. Look at me.
Yeah, he got the gloves open.
Now, Tony, you have to stay on top of the guy so you don't get hit with punches.
Don't blow your nose, Tony.
Now, Tony. Fire.
Okay.
Right? Keep this guy going back. Keep him going back. Now, don't pull away from punches. Don't blow your nose. Use the jab.
And what a contrast. The faces of Tony Tucker and Bruce Seldon. Once again, the doctor checking closely the left eye of Tony Tucker. The instructions, don't blow your nose to Tony Tucker. He is a mess.
And even so, my score unofficially, of course, is 58 to 57. Bruce Seldon ahead.
You know, the corner will always tell you when your eye starts to swell not to blow your nose because there are little passages that connect. And when you blow your nose, it blows your eye up even further.
Here comes Seldon, pouring it on, digging to the ribs, going upstairs. Tucker trying to fight back.
Come on, Bruce. Come on, Tuck. Here we go.
You watch Seldon, too. He switches every once in a while, righty to lefty. He switches his feet and hammers home shots from unorthodox angles.
Overhand right by Seldon off the top of the
All right,
hill.
guys, one step back. Come on, Bruce. One step back clean. Here we go. Come on.
The doctors are confirming with,
One step back. Come
or
on, Bruce.
conferring
Come on,
with
Tuck. Here we go.
officials right now.
Well, how much more can you want to see a guy take to the eye is the problem here, and it doesn't look like, unless he gets incredibly lucky with a punch, that Tucker's got anything to keep Seldon off.
Well, I'll tell you
Seldon
what,
is having his way.
Ferdy, I've had my eyes unfortunately closed considerably worse than that. I'm not proud of it, but you got to let the man fight. It's a world championship fight.
Again, Seldon with the left jab, aiming for the left eye of Tucker. Got him with the right hand at Seldon.
Bobby, what's your score now?
I'll tell you what, I have the fight myself, 58-56 for Seldon. 4 rounds, only gave 2 rounds for Tony Tucker, the first one in this past round, and that's it.
Yeah, I had one even round, but that makes a difference at 1 point. But we're basically in agreement that Seldon is taking this fight.
He continues to box dynamically. Now bouncing around, keeping his distance, picking his moments. Bruce Seldon in the white trunks. Continues to fire out the jab. That last one was blocked by Tucker. That one wasn't. Then a right hand by Tucker, but can't follow it up with a left.
He can't go to sleep. Seldon's got to stay on top of him and stay on top of him. And if he does that, he's got this fight. Bobby, why doesn't he circle like he's doing now to that eye? Why didn't he get to that side?
Well, you know, he may be just taking a rest. I don't know if he's looking to zero in on any particular target offensively. He may just be looking, take a little rest. He feels he's ahead, I'm sure. And he's boxing, staying outside. Make Tucker make some mistakes so he can compromise it.
Now, but you know what I mean? Up to this point, he has not intentionally gone that way because he can't see on that side. You would think he'd be fighting on that side of him all the time with a closed eye.
I'd be throwing more right hands and working off that side, Ferdy. I think you're right.
Here's a miss with a right hand by Seldon. 10 seconds to go in the 7th round.
Come on, Bruce. Come on, Tuck.
All 3 judges from Nevada, Jerry Roth, Dwayne Ford, Art Lurie.
Time.
Now you're doing a good job. Right? Now, Tony, you got to punch at the guy's body. You know, straight right hands to the body, straight right hands to his chest. You understand? Okay. Because the guy is moving away from it. Now, when you see him moving around like that, don't jab at his head. Jab at his chest, jab at his belly, anything, but just don't jab at his head. Okay. See, because he's moving he's moving his whole body, so you got to use the jab, right? But at the chest and belly, right? Okay. Then when it slows down, then you jab at his head. Okay. All right? We need to use that hook. Good shot. That's it, son. Now, when he's fine, just keep on.
That's it.
Look, you're doing a
the
good
referee
job.
just signaled that's it.
That's it. Bruce Seldon just learning he is the WBA heavyweight champion.
The discussion was between the Dr. Flip and the referee, said, well, I think that's it, and they both agreed, and that was the end of that, and he loses the title sitting on the stool, dejected, and once again, the heavyweight championship has slipped away from Tony TNT Tucker. Third time.
Tucker saying no, no, no.
Freddie, I think in wake of what happened with the Norris fight and some of the events of that nature, the McClellan thing, I think this is a bit of a premature stoppage myself.
Look at this reaction as Bruce Seldon exults. He has climbed a long road back to get here. He said he had lots of butterflies, but confidence coming in. This is what he's been fighting for 8 years, the heavyweight championship. Bruce Seldon, he said it really hit me earlier in the week when I walked past the arena for my physical. I looked to my manager, Rock, and said, this is the big time. We've made it. And now he is a champion. And a great boxing exhibition at that, buddy.
Steve, he did what he wanted to do with that jab. That was his key. That was what Diego wanted. He said he saw things in Tucker that he knew he would get the jab home. Said Tucker starts slow, and he just is lackadaisical. Doesn't really get excited early. And although Tucker got more excited, not the energy levels that Seldon showed us.
Bruce Seldon, his first shot at a world title. As he does some praying, he is the new WBA heavyweight champion. You could probably make an argument that this might be the last time Seldon would get this opportunity. He makes the most of it, getting the hugs. And you have to wonder if at age 36, Tony Tucker will ever get another shot.
Jimmy, what gonna happen, man? I can't lose like this, man.
We are ready for the official time. So let's go up to our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Jimmy, how do you feel?
Ladies and gentlemen, after 7 furious rounds of boxing, this bout has been stopped upon the advice of ringside physician Dr. Flip Homansky. The winner by way of technical knockout and the new WBA heavyweight champion of the world, the Atlantic City Express, Bruce Seldon.
Bruce Seldon, 28 years old, now 32-3, and now the proud owner of a portion of the heavyweight title. He'll take that WBA belt back to Atlantic City, New Jersey, as Tony Tucker couldn't answer the bell for round number 8. So here at Caesars Palace, 3 down, 2 to go. Coming up next, our co-feature, the WBC Super Lightweight Championship, Julio Cesar Chavez versus Giovanni Parisi. And we are standing by for that up next. And we take you behind the scenes into the dressing room of the champion, Julio Cesar Chavez, getting ready to make the 3rd title defense in his 2nd reign as the champ. He regained the title in May of '94. Controversial technical decision over Frankie Randall. Last defended the crown this past December over Tony Lopez. So that's upcoming as he takes on Giovanni Parisi of Italy. They're psyched up. Let's go to Jim Gray.
Okay, thank you, Steve. I'm with Dr. Flip Homansky, the attending physician here at ringside, as well as the referee, Mills Lane. Flip, what did you say, and why did you decide to stop the fight to Tony Tucker?
I had checked the fighter for the 3 rounds prior to this. A round earlier, Mills had called me in. We're concerned that there could be an orbital rim fracture. I'm concerned about a nasal fracture. He was gradually losing vision out of the left eye, and I was concerned more for his eye than for his title shot, and that's just how I had to handle it.
Mills, was this more so at your recommendation that this fight was stopped?
No, I would take Flip's advice, but the way the swelling was just not in the eye. The swelling was beginning to come back behind the eye. That bothered me. So I asked Flip to take a look. He looked the first time and said it's okay. Then he came in the next round, told me that he felt fragments in the nose and he felt some fragments here, and he said, Mills, that's it, that's enough. So he's a doc.
Tucker begged you to continue, said, I'm fine, my nose is not broken, my eyesight is fine. What was the determining factor in your mind? Tell us what you said to Tony Tucker.
Well, it's not what I said to Tony Tucker. It's what both Mills and I have to do, and that's to protect the fighter. That's our ultimate goal here. And Lord willing, Tony can come back and fight again, but we've got to make sure that eye is all right. It was going to close totally. We're concerned about that area, and we had to do what was right.
Okay, thank you both. Let's go over to Ferdy with the new champion.
All right, we're coming. Yeah. All right, we're the new heavyweight champion of the world, which we said in the interview. Next time I see you, I'll call you the heavyweight champion of the world. Now tell me, that fight was so energetic. Didn't it take too much out of you?
No, it didn't take too much out of me, but it took an awful lot out of me.
At any point where you hurt, it looks like he hurt you in about the second round.
He didn't hurt me, but he stung me. He stung me real good. I guess you would say he hurt me a little bit, but I trained hard. I trained intense for this fight, and I was just focused. I was determined to win this battle, and I didn't.
The fact that the eye was closing almost immediately and his nose looked like it was broken. Did you see that yourself? And did you understand that that was what you're aiming for?
I did see it, but see, Tony Tucker is such a great veteran fighter. He knew that his eye was a little swollen and whatnot, so he knew how to turn away from me.
Turn around, man.
You know, he knew how to turn away from me to keep me from hitting his eye. He knew, I guess through word of mouth, he knew that I was going to try to work more on his body. He kept me away from his body.
In all due respect to you, champ, we got a brave challenger here. He's upset, and understandably so. And
give me love, man. Come on, man. It's a sport.
Tony, your word.
Give me a rematch, man, because you know that was wrong for you to stop the fight.
All right, Tony, I'm giving you a chance to talk to America here. What do you feel? Give me your feelings.
I'm protesting this fight. I was winning the fight clearly. I was ahead on all the scorecards. I mean, the doctor didn't even come and say that, you know, in between rounds, you know, we may start the fight, look like the nose is broken. He did not give me any indication at all that he was going to stop the fight. I mean, when we come back out, I seen him tired. He was weakening. I was going to get him in later rounds anyway. That was the plan, to get him in later rounds. And the next thing I know, they stopping the fight. I'm like, what the hell? What's the hell going on? Where is boxing coming to? I mean, I'm winning the fight clearly, and they just stopped the fight. For what?
Well, I can understand your chagrin.
The doctor didn't give me no indication at all that he was going to stop the fight. No indication at all. Then all of a sudden he stopped the fight. He came in between rounds, you know, to talk to the corner and saying, you know, like, you know, his nose is getting broke. You know, if you keep getting hit, we're gonna stop the fight. You know, it looked like something is going wrong in the corner. Some kind of indication that he's gonna stop the fight.
Wait a minute.
All of a sudden, bam, stop the fight.
Wait a minute, you are a Don King fighter. You know how to talk as good as Don, so let me let Don in here. Don, this was a good heavyweight championship fight. Let Don talk a minute. Don,
I'm protesting the fight first.
All right.
Because I was winning the fight clearly. I was ahead.
Don, let's listen to the man that makes the fight.
I demand to see the scorecard.
Ferdy, let me say this was a great heavyweight fight. I was as shocked as it was that the doctor stopped the fight. I don't know why. He said some reason or another, but I really don't know why he stopped the fight. You know, and so he said this safety reasons or whatever. But nevertheless, this is clearly something that we have to look into. But my point of view, because this was a great fight. It was a great heavyweight.
We got to have
it was going along really zippingly, and I think what they said was there are bone fragments in the eye as well as in the nose. Both.
How can you see without X-ray?
Without X-ray. So that's what we're. That's what we're going to right now. Let's go find out. Let's go find out if it was right.
I think that Tony he should go to the hospital immediately and get an X-ray and find out if he do have that. If you don't have that, you got a legitimate protest, and I will demand that it be a rematch.
All right, and with that, and sorrowfully, we have to leave and go back to Steve Albert at ringside.
All right, Ferdy, so the eye and the nose, not the only things bent out of shape as far as Tony Tucker is concerned. Let us take a look at the scorecards through 7 rounds. Bruce Seldon was ahead 68-65, 67-66, and 67-66. All 3 judges, all from Nevada, here tonight. So it was indeed Bruce Seldon ahead on all 3 scorecards through 7 rounds. And let us take a look at the reaction of Bruce Seldon when he learned he won the fight. And here it is. The celebration begins for Bruce Seldon. What a feeling, Bobby. You know what that feels like.
You know what, Steve, it's incredible, and I know what he's worked for and how hard it's been for him. I don't think even he can control the emotion. He won't really hit him till later when he walks by and somebody says champ, and he turns to look for one and they realize they're talking to him.
Looking for people to hug Bruce Seldon, and he'll have no problem there. So Bruce Seldon, the #2 contender coming in, is the new WBA heavyweight champion, taking care of business in beautiful boxing fashion against #1 rated Tony Tucker. So here at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas, we move on, and let's throw it back upstairs to Jim Hill.
All right, Steve, thank you very much. Back at the host position with the marvelous one, Marvin Hagler, and that hate in the air that you talked about is still there.
Still there, and still more to come.
Yo, I can believe it. You like to watch the big fellas go at it.
Oh, I love to hear that big boom when they fall.
You were down at ringside, and so you heard some tremendous thuds down there.
Oh, they were throwing big blows. I love that, to see the heavyweights go like that. But I have to agree with the doctor. I thought he did the right thing, because his eye was starting to swell, and we don't need another detached rectum or anything like that, and for anyone to be serious in the ring. I mean, seriously hurt in the ring. So I believe the doctor did a great thing.
Now, one of the things that Bruce Seldon really accomplished tonight, he had a tremendous jab in the ring. We're going to take a look at some of them. I mean, it's slow-mo action here. His jab was absolutely perfect. And I would imagine that this was his plan, especially after TNT's Tucker's left eye started to close.
Well, you know, it wasn't only quick, it was hard, too. And, you know, he was very awkward. And you see that he would never go to the, once he's seen the eye swelling, he would go to the opposite side. He'd give him a movement target. You know, he was very smart, trying to just look for the eye, work on the eye, and use that jab quick. But he was worried about Tony Tucker's right hand, because he respected Tony Tucker.
So you see him, Bruce Seldon, as a very mature fighter because he was very patient.
Well, I still think that he has a long way to go, but by being champion now, you tend to learn a lot quicker.
Yeah, you certainly do. You mentioned a couple of minutes ago that you watch Bruce Seldon, and you thought that there were a couple of times when he almost cashed it in.
Well, I thought so. You know, he got hit a couple of times with the right hand, and he wanted to quit, but I felt as though they wouldn't quit behind the fact that he looked in so tremendous shape. And that's what I think what kept him up, and knowing that all he needed was another shot to continue.
It's really amazing. Tony Tucker was talking about he was sure he was ahead on the judges' scorecards, when in fact it was just the opposite.
Exactly. I felt that Seldon was ahead.
Do you think this is the end of the line for Tony Tucker?
No, maybe they'll have that rematch again, but because see, Tony's a type of fighter that he's not hurt, so he can't continue.